this way.
Yeah. So I understand. Well,
What's
you
going on?
Texas people.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay.
Okay,
I
go.
don't know. Did everyone have a good weekend?
Go, go, Lori. Go.
Go,
Go,
Lori, go, Lori, go, go. What am I doing?
go, ninja, go. Go, ninja, go, ninja, go.
I like
Go,
telling the
ninja,
world
go,
I saw
ninja, go.
Terry Parr this weekend.
Sure.
He's super cool, and I love Terry Parr. We were
Okay.
giggling about shenanigans in comics and talking about his comic, Gemini.
Yeah.
Is it
Gemini
or
Force.
Gemini Force, excuse me. I got a copy. We traded copies. So he got
Cool.
a issue 1 and I got an issue 1. And I was like, I write things. So I'm probably going to be doing a one-shot for Terry at some point, which will be fun.
Awesome.
His comic is fun. It's
That's
like
cool.
his two main characters are chicks that were cloned from 80s rock and roll legends in outer space. It's great. It's great. Elvis has been kidnapped.
Oh, that
He's in
sounds
outer
awesome.
space, and now there's intergalactic like battle of the bands and shenanigans.
Shenanigans, I say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah.
I
That
saw
sounds
the
awesome. Cherry Parr.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, it's on Kickstarter right now? Or
No.
oh no, it's
No,
not.
it was there. It was there a few
Yeah,
months
it's on
ago.
Kickstarter. Oh, okay.
Catch up,
Gotcha.
Chad.
Then I
Catch up,
definitely-
Chad.
Oh man,
He does caricatures.
I'm
too.
sorry.
This
It
is
just
like-
Super
This is
cool.
like
I'm
this is
looking at it.
June. This is like so March 2024. Like, come on.
oh god, can't
Sorry,
I
Chad.
missed the ball on
I
that.
was like,
No.
no.
Missing shows and stuff. You're out of the loop.
no. Oh Lord.
Out of the
I missed so
loop
much
now.
stuff.
Jeez.
Oh,
I don't
there's
even.
even mild nudity in this. It's great, man.
Uh-huh.
It's because you were over there playing with your fish and you didn't catch on.
Listen, I needed to
You
cast
made
my
that
worm out, and
sound
I just didn't.
dirty. You're playing
Does
with
he usually-
your sword
Look.
fish,
Look, I like
Uh,
playing with my bait. Okay.
polishing your swordfish.
polishing your lure.
Yeah, that sharpening my hook,
Tackle and bait. We can keep going.
mastering my bait. Listen,
Well,
we could.
All going to be
Yes,
live.
yes. Let's all keep this. Let's
Yeah,
all
I
keep
think Chris was
masturbation
like,
jokes.
Just a reminder, we're already live.
Yeah. Speaking of fishing hooks, who here has seen the old 80s movie The Mutilator?
No.
No,
When did
what is
come out?
that?
We were all like 2.
No?
Chad wasn't born.
Right, exactly. Mutilator. Is that like? Do they put like hooks in each other's backs?
It's a bad slasher movie.
Mhm.
But it's one of the better bad slasher movies. It's like it's kind of gotten a cult following. They actually did a sequel recently, like sort of a meta sequel.
Oh.
But the original, its claim to fame ultimately is the fishhook scene. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't even want to tell anybody what happens,
It
but
sounds bad.
it's bad and it's so 80s. But yeah, the Mutilator, it's kind of hard to find. They put out, I know Arrow put out a Blu-ray a few years ago, so it's on Blu-ray, but I don't know if you can find it to stream it, to be perfectly honest. But if you do find it and it is available and you like the old 80s slasher genre, it's definitely one you need to put on the list. And when you get to the fishhook scene, you'll thank me. You'll know. Thank you, Tom.
Like, Tom told me about this scene, and now we'll never speak to him again.
Prepared.
Great.
You'd be like,
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yes. This was back in the day of like right now, everything you get like straight to streaming. Back in the day, it was straight to
Yeah.
video, and so
Yes,
there was
yeah.
tons
Yeah.
of just straight to video horror. And this was one of them. Actually, that's not true. It did actually have a theatrical release. And it did really well while it was in theaters. But partially because of the hook scene, theaters wouldn't let it run very long. because the local town in the 80s sort of like Footloose, like, get this out of here, like, what is this doing in our theaters, right? Yeah, 100%. So while it did really well when it was in theaters, it didn't last long in theaters, and then it went to video, and then it became this sort of cult, following thing. And and I haven't seen the sequel yet. I kind of want to see it, but the trailer makes me nervous because it's just too meta and modern, and it's whatever. But it is done by the original guys. It's the original director, and some of the actors come back, and so it's kind of like what's that thing? The Human Centipede, right? The second one.
Oh,
The second one is very
yeah.
meta because it's about a guy who watched the movie and then makes his own quote
I was about
unquote
to ask
real
that,
Human
too.
Centipede.
Yep.
So it's sort of like that. It's sort of meta like that. So I want to see it, but I'm not rushing to see it.
I kind of want a Footloose, like, but based on horror movies, and they're all trying to like get horror movies back into their theater type thing,
it's
and then there's
so-
like a huge like
so
they
easy to
kill a
do.
bunch of people.
It's such an easy
They're
story
great.
to tell. Yeah, I mean, such an easy story to tell, and I think it would be wildly fun, like
Yeah.
crazy, wildly fun if you did it right, especially if you got some old 80s horror people to just come in and be part of it. Like, look, they don't have to be their characters, but just people that we know from these
Yeah.
things. I think it would be
Mhm.
awesome to kind of go meta in that regard and homage Footloose. Yeah.
Footloose with
Instead of-
horror. That
Yeah,
would be
but
hilarious.
it has to have someone doing the Kevin Bacon dance scene. Like, that's a must.
Yeah.
How about
Yep.
that's the trigger when someone does like a dance scene that calls the
That
slasher.
calls out the killer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that'd be
slasher
awesome.
shows up.
Because we can't watch those dance scenes, guys. That can't happen.
No.
So you're all done.
Yes.
Yeah. So instead of like having sex, premarital sex, that's a problem. In this movie,
It's
if
the
you're
dancing.
dancing, you're done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
you-
That
I
could be
bet
like
Kevin
that could be
Bacon
like the
will-
tagline. If you dance, you're done.
Even like doing like a little soft shoe, like do like the music of anything is considered dancing, and they just
No.
fucking wreck you.
This is far too complicated for Hollywood. Far too
Yeah.
complicated.
But
for
here,
Hollywood.
but people say creativity is dead, and there's
I know,
something
and look what we just did in like 5 minutes.
Right, exactly. We wrote an entire new scripted movie.
Yeah, it's like there's a new movie that just came out called something like Mind of Violence or State of Violence or something, and it's basically it's a slasher movie, but it's told from the perspective
Slasher.
of the slasher,
Mhm.
right? Now, I
Oh.
haven't seen it yet. It's getting wildly diverse reviews
What's
because
it
some
called?
people are like, wow, this is really smart and it's really unique and whatever, and they kind of have bought into the concept, and other
That's
people are
the
like,
foul?
this is some fucking boring shit. This dude's just walking around the woods for an hour,
But that's
so-
what it's supposed to be.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm really curious to see how they did it and how maybe they could have made it better. But if you watching that again, going meta, right, going kind of weird and opposite, outside the box, you could probably watch that and be like, okay, how do we take that and how do we take like the 80s genre and like mash it?
Right. What's this movie
For
called?
if you dance, you die.
What's this movie called?
I'll look it
Something.
up.
It's something
Something
like
of violence.
yeah, it's something like Mind of Violence or In the Mind of Violence or something like that.
Tom, how did you
Violence
get a
of the
shark on your name?
I don't think that's it. I think violence
That's
is the last word in the movie.
In
What,
a
Kristen?
violent nature.
In a Violent Nature. That's it. In a Violent Nature.
Oh.
Yes.
Google for the win.
I was on that
That's
too,
all.
but I found something from 2013. That's why I was confused.
So what'd you say, Carissa?
How did you get the shark in your name?
Oh, somebody showed me how to do that.
Oh, it's
yeah,
on Shudder.
It's it's on Shudder. It's in the
Yeah.
theaters too. It's got a short theater release as well. But yeah, it's a Shudder movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something there. I don't remember how to do it, but it's in like your settings, and then like I don't remember how
Was it
they
a
showed me how to
picture
do
you
it.
had, or like a choice they had, or because I'd love to put my logo on it.
It's
Edit.
like an emoji.
Yeah, if you go to nope. Maybe we can't do it when we're live.
Go
That
to
that
nope.
might be.
I go to Nope.
Video avatar.
I go
Welcome
there
to tech
all the
support.
time.
Show.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll look it
I
up
don't know.
later.
It was something in your settings somewhere, but I think maybe you can't do it when we're live because I'm not seeing how to do it now.
All right, I'll look it up.
But yeah, so Daphne Lodge showed me how to do it a while back. Because
Nice.
she had like a unicorn, and I was like, "What? How do you have that? Is there a shark?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's a shark." So we did it.
Oh, it's probably the same way you do it with the Kickstarters as well, because she showed me how to do it with the Kickstarter.
Do what with the Kickstarter?
You can put emojis in your Kickstarter.
What?
Yeah.
And the title you
send you
mean for the pre-launch?
You know what? I'll send you the instructions.
She's a clever girl.
Okay, fine. She could figure it out. I won't send you the instructions, Chris.
No,
No,
fuck
I'm
the
saying
time.
Daphne's a clever
Oh,
girl.
Daphne's a clever.
I'm most certainly not a clever girl.
Extra ouch for Carissa.
Definitely was not
Like,
talking about me. I can assure you.
Figure it out yourself, Carissa. I'm gonna tell you any secrets.
Fucked up. Tom says you'll figure it out.
Nobody
Tom-
tell Carissa.
Tom has way too much confidence in me.
This is
Yeah.
why
Gotta
I
build
love
you
coming
up.
on
You're
this
you're
show.
you're a star now. You're getting invitations to cons. You're a star now.
I know, and now I have to spend $200 on a new effing banner because it. Well, I guess I give it credit because it lasted the entire
No.
weekend.
Can't you just buy a new like pole and like
No,
stand
it
instead of like the
doesn't-
banner itself?
It doesn't. Well, so first it didn't retract, and now
Oh.
the whole top part came off. But it survived the whole weekend, so I got to give it credit there.
Well, you can take the banner itself and just like sell that on Kickstarter as a tier. Like, here's my old
I
banner.
don't have Tom followers. When I have Tom followers, I will try selling the banner.
Have a merchandising empire. That's happening.
Empire.
You think your people aren't going to want your banner? Someone will buy your banner.
Somebody
All
will buy
I
your
know-
bathwater if
The
you.
only
you
thing I
put
know
it
they
in there.
want, and I think it's because they can't have it, is some of them are getting pissy that I won't release the novels. I was like, trust me, you don't want to read the novels. Like they're
You could.
no,
Why not?
no, because they're not written that way, and I'm not a very good writer. I'm a storyteller. It was meant to be a comic. I just didn't know it until I thought about making it into a comic, and I said the infamous words, "How hard can it be?" So,
And you
but
I
yeah,
learn.
guarantee you make that banner just an add-on. Someone will buy your book and buy your banner.
all right,
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm sorry, say what?
be like $10,000 right now.
Well, no.
No, I whatever I get for it would go towards a new banner. So
That's what
I
I'm saying,
actually
yeah.
I have two other banners, but they're identical and they're not Anubis, so they're not going to be as popular. But it's Draven and Seraphina about to kill a zombie. So actually, it's technically a zombie vampire, is what it is.
We've had people
But,
ask to buy our banners like all the time.
Yeah.
And then there was a time we did small banners and we actually hung them, from like the drape behind us. And we would
Yeah.
have like 8 of them and we'd hang them. And then at the end of the year, the last con of the year, we would have a raffle at a con and we would just give them away.
Oh, nice.
People would come to the con and like everything you buy a book and you get a ticket or whatever. And then we'd just give them away. And then, have new banners for the next season.
I have to say, I do.
No,
I
that's not a bad idea.
I don't like cons. I don't like doing them. They stress me out, but I love doing the Nashville con. They're just so receptive and like, I don't know. It's slowly, my husband and I are talking about this, and for my husband to notice it's saying it's pretty prominent. It's not a lot of comics anymore. It's mostly 3D printing,
Yep.
and those fake pictures. I don't think they're AI or what they are, but they're just metal prints or something. They all look the same. And
Yep.
Artist Alley, I think we had a couple. But I mean, I sold my hardcovers. I was stupid and I brought all of my issues for the first time because somebody told me to bring them all, Tom. And then I brought them all and they just wanted hardcovers, which is fine because they're more expensive. So I was like, all right. But I sold 15 hardcovers. So
Damn.
and I owe somebody a gold-plated coin because my husband was so set on this. Like I couldn't even finish the pitch when they said yes or whatever. My husband's like, "You get a coin," and I was like, nobody cares. I got a coin. Like I can't even finish that they get this coin. My husband's like, "And I'll get you the coin." I was like, "Why are you so enthusiastic about this effing coin?" But everyone I liked the book, and everyone was really impressed that I've been doing it for a year and a half, and I had 10 volumes or 10 issues or whatever. So, and then I got the independent people that ask you like 3 hours worth of questions.
Oh yeah.
Which was fine. I actually don't mind it. I met
Like-
this is well, the fun part is there's two or three people that specifically came from last year to find me. So that was nice. And one of them had bought 3 issues last because I only ever bring 3 issues, and now I have the hardcover. I brought the hardcover. So he bought the 3 last time, and this time he bought the hardcover. I was like, I'll just give the 3 away. And I was like, whatever floats your boat. And then this other guy comes, and for some reason he has this set, and he told me last year, and we thought he was lying or just saying he didn't want to buy more. He says he only buys 1 per time he sees you. So if like he sees us at 5 different cons, he would buy 5, issues. So he only bought issue 2 because last year he bought issue 1. So he came back and he bought issue 2, and it's like, see you next year. I was like, well, now I feel like I have to come back.
Real weirdo.
That's crazy.
It was weird.
Like, I just
crazy.
look at it and be
Like,
like,
I understand, like, if you're buying 1 trade paperback, like
Right.
$15, $20, like, okay, buy volume 2 next time. But just issues, like, just grab some issues, dude.
Yeah, just
Well,
One
grab.
issue is not going to last you a year to read.
I was like,
I mean,
what?
unless
It's
you're
like
like-
5 minutes, right? And then you're
Yeah,
like, I need the
it's
next
like-
one. But nope.
I did
No, he
have a
reads
lot of
1
them
page a
say-
month.
I did have a lot of them say, when can I get the next hardcover? And I was like, September. I was like, yeah, in September. So next year I'm definitely going to have 2. I technically would have 3, but since I didn't do the Kickstarter yet, I'm probably shouldn't be selling it. At least I think I'll have it. I'm issue 16 just got all inked, finished on Saturday, and 17 starts in 2 weeks. And 17 marks the end of the next hardcover, but they still have to be colored and lettered and all that fun stuff. So
You're a
Um,
lot.
I'm a what now?
You do a lot.
Can I tell my story about the rando that came to my table?
Yeah, what the
Oh,
hell is up with
I've got a
that?
story
I
too.
told
Yeah, we all have
Larissa.
stories. I love it. Go, Lori.
So I went.
Oh,
I
Lord.
was at Frisco Comic Con, which was touch and go. Like first 2 days were kind of slow. Third day was really good. And but on the first day, this guy shows up. He's like, "Yeah, I saw you were going to be there." So I went and I made sure I read your story on Global Comics, and I was like, "Great, what'd you think?" I really liked it. Great. I have issues 1 through 4. I got our trade paperback. I got all sorts of stuff. Yeah, thanks anyway. And then turned around and left.
He came to see her. Like, what the hell? That's like some guy that just comes to tell you, I didn't really like it. I just wanted you to know, and then walk out. But he actually liked
Right.
it.
And he liked
Well-
it. And he was just like, I really liked your series. I read it on Global Comics. I'm like, I got all sorts of stuff for you. And he was like, peace, and left. And I was like, I don't,
He just goes home. Like, that's the
I
only
don't know
reason
what
why
to
he was-
say. You drove
Right.
all the way out here. Like, you didn't ask for a selfie. Nothing.
Yeah.
I was giving
I
away
had a
free
guy-
stuff. Didn't take any free stuff. Just left.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had a guy who
We all
almost
got
got punched in the throat.
I'm Matt.
What?
What?
Why?
Yeah. So he comes up. I was at Ostravaganza, the Oz
He's
show.
like, I
this
hate
week.
shark movies.
and it was really good. It was a great show. And then on Saturday, right
God.
before the show ended, guy comes up and he's looking around. Oh yeah, like I he was one of these guys that like I think he bought like issue 1 or volume 1 last year. He's like, yeah, give me like issue 2 and 3, volume 3. And I'm like, yeah, cool. This is awesome. Like, okay, he's got this. All right, dude, $45. Do you want me to sign them? Yeah, go ahead and sign them. And I start to ring him up on the credit card, and he's like, just make it an even 50, And I'm like, no, I don't need a tip. That's all right. I appreciate that, but it's $45. And he's all, no. You go ahead and make it 50 because you probably can't be making much money here.
Oh.
Wow.
And I was like,
like to
that's so
$50.
Right, yeah. yeah,
My best
okay, well
not
now.
extra 0 on that one. Sorry.
Right. Oh crap.
Wow,
Man, no
what a prick.
refunds.
I have to say, like, I was able
free
to
knuckle
kind of-
sandwich.
I was able to kind of tell by what someone's shirt was if they would read my comic or not. So like
Oh,
there
yeah.
was this guy that walked by and he had the Day of the Dead shirt on, and I was like, I told my husband, I was like, I have to get his attention. He's gonna love my series. So he was like in the middle. He wasn't close enough for me to trip him or anything. So he went by, but I was like, all right, I'll find him later. So I went to I I can't ever say his name, but he plays Aaron on Walking Dead. It's Ross Marquis or something like that.
Oh,
Anyway, I
yeah,
went
that's great, man.
Yeah. So I went in line. I wanted to be there first because in the beginning, it's always the first hour. We never get sales ever. They're walking around, they're doing the celebrities, and then they start coming. So I went to go get his signature, and I was there for an hour, and he hasn't shown up. He's an hour late. So I'm like, all right, well, they're like, here, take this. Come back in line, and you can come skip the line, whatever. I was like, all right, fine. So I went back, and I came back to check half an hour later, still not here. So I was like, all right. And he lives there, so he has no excuse.
He's sleeping.
He was super nice, though. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
So then I went back finally, and the guy behind me was the guy with the Day of the Dead shirt. And I said, "Hey," I said, "come check out my booth after I have a series that you're gonna like." And I was showing him I was holding the hardcover. Like, this is the series. Like, oh yeah, where are you? And blah blah blah. Yeah, he came and bought a hardcover, so it worked out great.
See,
So
there
that
you
was kind
go.
of cool. Yeah, but I gave
Peop-
a hardcover to Ross because any autograph that I get, I always give them one, just because I want to.
I still think the strangest thing that ever happened to me. Well, two things. One person didn't buy anything from my table. Instead, she just started talking about how she was banned from the UK because she has the same name as Queen Elizabeth.
What?
Yeah,
a
this is
thing?
like an older lady.
Mm.
And then the other one, all he did was talk about his fursona known as Clover Dust, and he actually ended up talking to Blake because I just walked away, so I let Blake suffer through that. But he just kept telling about how his was like a space adventurer named Clover Dust. My eyes glazed over real quick for that.
Wow.
One guy asked if I could trade all my entire all my comics on my table for a bar of silver.
Okay.
That was weird.
Did you do it?
I like when they try to
Very
barter. And you're like,
tempting.
I never
"No."
had anyone try to barter. I had
Mm.
one guy who my husband's like, I don't think you were a little abrasive. I was like, fine. This guy came with a card. He wants to bring back Ernest, the guy that Ernest Scared Stupid. I didn't like him. I never watched a movie from him. It's just not my type of movie. My husband,
Right.
who is can be very simple-minded, loves those movies. So he was tickled pink that this guy is going to make a comic book from Ernest, So the guy was like, "Oh, I'm going to have a Kickstarter. It's going to be a huge trade paperback with 166 pages." And I was like, "Oh, you should do issue 1 first." And he's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because issue 1, the singles pay for the hardcover. So you do the singles and then you do the hardcover." And he's like, "Well, that makes sense, but we're just going to do it all at once because Ernest is such a well-known name that I'm sure it's going to, fund whatever." And I was like, it's got like 20% on Rotten Scores. This isn't a big thing.
Do you not understand how Kickstarter works? People
I
have
don't
to know
think
you
he
exist.
But then he says, well, it's going to be 12 months. So we're going to tell them they have to wait 12 months for the Kickstarter. I was like, I wouldn't,
Yeah.
Like,
I
you are
just-
doing all that. There's too many things wrong already. Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he got mad because, he got annoyed because I was just like, it doesn't hurt you to do the first issue if you're going to do it anyway.
They're
Like,
doing
Right.
it exactly the way Ernest would have done.
Yeah. My bad. You're
Wah, wah.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Does
Absolutely right.
anybody actually like those movies?
My husband likes it's simple.
Okay, anybody who
They
matters
have a-
like those
No.
movies?
They have a very cult following. That's all
Well, that was
80s,
25
late 80s and
years
90s
ago.
stuff. So
Vic
there's a lot of
says
that stuff. People like
Ernest
that.
nude covers.
Yeah,
Oh my
Vic should do
God.
an Ernest nude cover. Quick, somebody go commission.
The other thing that
Vic,
was
you
there.
do it. We'll see if it'll sell.
Yeah, we'll do it.
The other guy that caught my attention that wasn't
We'll all
something
put it
I
on our
would-
Kickstarters.
it wasn't something that I would pay for,
No,
but
no, I won't.
this guy made an Ed Wood musical.
Oh,
They're
hell
playing
yeah.
out.
That sounds awesome.
And yeah, but you know what though? Like, I don't know how he only has like $175 in Indiegogo right now. But
What?
I
No,
don't
this
know.
man needs more money. Hang on. Keep going.
Well, you know what's funny is though they had you can put the headphones on, you can listen to the musical, and And they put a lot of work into it. He had like a meth lab out. Like that's how I caught my attention. I was like, what's with the meth lab? I had never seen Plan 9, so I didn't know, is the meth lab included in that? I don't know. I'm
What?
assuming it is.
The-
I
Carissa,
I don't
Carissa,
even know what
Carissa.
you're talking about.
the
right
meth
now.
lab has nothing to do with Ed Wood. The meth lab goes all the way back to Frankenstein in the 30s with the crazy beakers and all kinds of shit. Like
Does that have to do with
that's
Ed
that's
Wood?
old school sci-fi setup. And so when Ed Wood came around in the 50s, he loved that stuff. And so when he did his movies, he was like, bring me that Frankenstein shit. And you know, was loading up his laboratories to look like, you know, that kind of stuff. But that's old school old school
I knew
sci-fi.
it wasn't really meth lab. I'm just
Yeah,
that's what caught.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Frankenstein's meth lab. Dr.
Yeah,
Frankenstein meth
I
lab.
have to say he was very personable. Like if I cared at all or ever seen it, maybe I would have done. But see, that's a tricky thing to get money for because
Hang
I
on
mean
a minute.
they're paying towards like a walk-in on the movie, or they're paying for a black and white version of the movie. But you lose the money no matter what, right? If he doesn't reach his $25,000
Right.
goal, you lose it all, right? You don't get anything. It's not like it's a flexible goal, so they just keep whatever you pay. So
Yeah, potentially. Yeah,
Ye-
potentially.
ye-
I
Yeah.
really don't know how they make any money that way.
Again, that's exactly how Ed Wood would do it.
That's so true. Oh
I
man.
don't even want to click on that, to be honest with
Guys,
you, Chad.
this looks awesome. this
I
looks
mean,
I ain't
yeah.
doing it.
yeah, it did not look bad at all, I guess.
There's no chance he makes $25,000.
No.
Not
No.
at all. Much less on Indiegogo.
No.
No chance.
Yeah, he didn't believe me. He says Indiegogo is more popular. I was like, do you
No.
know anything about Kickstarter?
Once again, you people
Ed
are
Wood.
Wait, who did you meet?
Who do you mean by
Um,
you people?
Who is
you
I
the
don't-
guy?
people, you Ed Wood people are done.
Oh, okay.
Apparently.
I'm not
I have
included
no
in that.
idea who his name was. I honestly didn't go talk to him. I was talking to Ed. What is it?
Ed
Ed
Wood?
across the way, and no, not Ed Wood, but Ed across the way, and I said, who's got the meth lab over there? And obviously, I pointed towards the guys. He's like, come on over, and I was like, damn it, I made eye contact, and now I'm fucked. So I had to go over, listen to his little spiel or whatever. But I gotta tell you, like, more than anything, everyone asked me the same question. All the indie people asked me, where did you print your hardcover? That was like these people. There were people there that had done this for 10 years, and they had done they're like, don't look at the quality at our trade paperbacks. We need to get better quality. I was like, all right. So I gave the contact to like 6 people, and then my husband made fun of me because every single time there was an indie person that came, I talked to them for like 2 hours, and he's like, she loves to help. I was like, I followed one guy back to his table because he was the artist and writer. I was like, how are you not on? That was my biggest thing. How are you not on Kickstarter? You have nothing to lose. You wrote it and you drew it. You have like 4 comics. Just put the damn thing on Kickstarter. And then there was another guy that has. Now this guy pisses me off the most because he was there last year. He's the one that bought the hardcover that already owned the 3. He is an amazing artist, and all his little things look like unique and creative Pokemon. I was like, what are you doing? He has like a whole monster manual that he's done absolutely nothing with, and he's done it for like 5 years. He's like, well, I was going to get a table this time, and I didn't get it fast enough. And I was like, well, you better do it next year, but you also should be on Kickstarter. I mean, you should put your monster manual on there. You should have trading. You could probably have your own. You could be the next Pokemon for all you know. Why are you not doing anything with this? And also make a ferret plushie because that thing is adorable as hell. So, but yeah. So I talked to a lot of
the plushies.
Well, yeah, Travis is still mad about it. He's like,
I don't think the
"Stop
man's
with the plushies."
ever gonna not be mad about your plushies. Probably because
Yeah.
he didn't think of them first.
He's like, what did he say today? He was like, don't people make comics anymore? It's all plushies. It's like some of us are talented enough to do both. And he's like, well, I'm not. I was like, okay.
That's why he's angry.
That's why he's angry. I mean, I'm probably not gonna always have plushies. I mean, well, Monster Island's coming, and then there's like 1,000 monsters on there. So maybe I will. I gotta do my gator plushie. I'm super excited
Monster
about it.
Island.
And I
That's
had
my
to sell,
favorite.
I had to sell my chatty. Now I got to make one for me because my friend really wanted it and someone already bought it. So she's like, I can't buy chatty. I was like, all right, you can buy my chatty. So Now I gotta buy
Guys,
my
I'm kind
own.
of on
Daddy.
board with this Edward the Musical.
No, stop it.
I
Stop it.
know. I'm like, what are you
Come
doing?
on.
Yeah, wait,
Stop it.
it's not
Come on,
gonna
fine.
get funded.
Fine, I'll close it out of it.
I
Damn
will
it.
tell you, I am dying to see him launch.
God,
I want to
See,
see
here's the
how-
problem, Chad. You also said something today about, or maybe it was yesterday, about like liking Sex in the City or some shit like that.
I said
I'm
it this
like, you're-
morning.
You're, going down the wrong path.
And we were all like, no.
I know. Listen, look. Okay,
Wrong
look.
path.
My
Oh.
Tifa brought it and started watching it, and then I sat down and watched it. Like, God damn it! There's some stuff that's kind of relatable and like situations that I've been through, and I'm like, I hate this. Stuff. But it's not that bad. I kind of enjoyed it. So they have a bunch
Collectively
of.
shook our heads at you.
Most
I
people don't
know.
say that out loud, but okay.
I
You're
don't
brave.
care.
You're a brave soul. When are you launching, Chad? You keep telling me. I give
June
you-
12th.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
Tom, Lori, Tom, you, Lori, and then me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Aaron.
Oh, I'm supposed to like put these on the screen. I knew that. Hi,
Hi, Aaron.
there you go.
Still,
You
I
covered
do.
all around. I am gonna follow up on them because they said they're gonna do it in September. I'm dying to see how much they make, and I want to see what their goal is. Like that's
I do
like my-
too. Please
I'm
send that
dying to
over.
see what their goal is.
Well, if
Uh,
they do it just like Ernest, it'll be like 50 grand. That'll
Yeah.
be their goal.
Well, somebody has a comic book they've never launched before ever, and their
Look, they did 50
goal is
grand. I'm
like,
impressed.
huh?
Oh, I said if they did 50 grand on their Kickstarter, that'd be impressive.
Well, yeah, but I'm
until-
saying that's going to be their goal.
No, their
and
goal.
they're gonna fuck it up.
Okay. Never mind.
I don't know.
then.
There's this one creator. Well, he does have a pretty big following, so I don't know. But his goal is like, I can't remember if it was 10 or 15. I was like, that is really risky. I mean, isn't it already done? He's like, yeah. And I was like, so maybe make it a little lower. I'm like, seriously, if you got 9 grand, you're gonna lose it. Like you'll unless you pay the last 1,000 or whatever. But if you get like 6,000-7,000, but he said, so I don't blame him. He spent 40 grand on it, like on that one issue. It's like I forgot how many pages it was, 100 and something. But I was like, I'd be terrified. I mean, he's never had a Kickstarter before ever. So I don't know. I'm gonna follow it. So we'll see. But I don't know. I don't even have over 1,000 goal yet. So I probably won't. If I ever reach 10,000 ever, which I don't see happening, then I might raise my goal. But
What's the point though? I mean, like I've kept my goal the same since we started, and that way I can, like, I crunch numbers.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at like
I
what
don't.
percent
I don't do
goal
it
I
the
am
smart way
and
with you.
how many backers I have, how many like new to campaign back. I calculate all that BS. Why? Because my brain tells me to. But so it changes the percentage if you change the goal.
At least your brain like talks to you. Like mine's just like throw in a whole issue and see what happens. I just put the 1,000. My first goal ever was 500, and I got 900.
Mutilator is streaming free on Tubi, by the way. Just
Oh,
What
wow.
happened?
yeah,
Amazing.
What's streaming?
Mutilator.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't-
gonna
I
didn't
watch
see-
that too.
I
It's a
didn't
fish
see any
hook
new
night for
movie.
everybody.
Actually, I'm gonna sit here and watch it. while you
Why?
guys talk about it.
No, you have to experience the whole thing. You got
No, I will be. Yeah.
get it. There's really, what's funny is there's really only one sort of weird There's two weird scenes
Only
that
2?
just kind of go forever, and you're like, why aren't we? This is a terrible edit. Like, stop this. What are you doing? And then it kind of resets, and you're like back into the movie. But like one of them is they start walking down the beach, and they just kind of keep walking down the beach, and just kind of keep walking down the fucking beach. And then they reach a point where they're like, we should probably go back. So it's basically like Fury Road, right? Like, hey, let's just go,
Oh no.
and then we'll just come back. Like, that's,
Oh, good.
Isn't that
Good.
terrible?
Wait, what was the movie? You had a movie you were telling us about where they
Me?
spent Tom, they spent like 30 minutes driving on a road and then it had nothing to do with anything in the movie. They just were driving somewhere. I can't remember what the hell it was. It was a while ago. But he's just like, oh, it was a pretty bad movie. But the worst part was it was like 30 minutes of them driving on a back road and it never meant anything. Like nothing really happened. Nothing
I don't
jumped
know
out.
what that is. I
Yeah.
don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
But it sounds
Oh.
terrible. Whatever
Yeah.
it is, it sounds terrible.
It sounds really bad.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah,
He
that
was
sounds
like,
bad.
it wasn't that bad of a movie, but 30 minutes of my life, and I'm waiting for something to happen on this damn road. They're not talking about anything interesting. There's no scenery. It was just them on a road, and I was like, he's like, it wasn't.
That
even
is
good
one of the
dialogue.
worst things I thought about of Fury Road. Fury Road is such a great movie until you're like, yeah, they drove all this way, and then they turned around and went back.
This is what I had. I had this conversation with a friend of mine who really likes the movie because I did
Yeah.
not understand it. Like when it came out, it didn't really do well. If we all remember this, like it got a lot
Yeah.
of good reviews, but it really didn't do well. It's
Right.
kind of become like one of these cult things over time. But like if you watch Fury Road, like I think the key element to Fury Road is that about 90% of it is real. Right. It's not like it's not a green screen movie. It's like there's all
Right.
these cars are real, like all the smoke is real, like
Yes.
it's practical effects is what I'm trying to say. So I think all of that stuff with all the stunts and all that, like it's a wild visual thing, like it's crazy. But then when you look at the story, it's like, what are we doing? Like we a couple people escape. I get it. Good. Max finds them. Okay, good. They drive out into the desert. Gotcha. They meet some chicks on bikes. Yeah. And then they come back. Like,
It's like they were
You know.
trying to escape to the green space, which is supposed to be
Yeah.
paradise, and they figured
Yeah.
out it's gone.
and they figure out it's gone, which is a problem. And then,
Right.
again, it's not that the story doesn't make sense. Like they go because they're like, well, everything we need is back there.
Right.
And-
And then
and-
they're like, well, geez, why did we even leave?
So yeah, I mean, it's just like, so for me, because I just watched it recently before I watched Furiosa, because I wanted to kind of get a reminder of it, and I was like, yeah, this like looks great, but this is some low level storytelling, and so I
Yeah.
could never understand the just like the pure love of it, like, oh my god, like it was being touted as like the greatest action movie of all time, and like all this stuff, and I'm like, ooh, man. That's high praise. And again,
a
the
lot of
action
hype.
stuff was really good. That's really good. But as a writer, as a storyteller, I'm like, there's not a whole lot of depth going on here. Now, and in fairness, Road Warrior didn't have it either, and we all like Road Warrior, right? Like
I
Road
was
Warrior was
gonna
pretty
say,
fucking simple
have
too.
any
Like,
of them
hey,
done
you
that
need some
movie?
gasoline, and I'll get you some gasoline. Like, I
Yeah.
understand that's pretty simple too. So
Well, that's
sometimes stories
different.
don't have to be hyper deep. Like, I get it, I understand, but my thing is always just like the hype of it was so high that I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, I like the visuals, I get it, but I couldn't wrap my head around why it was being touted quite this much. And scene.
Rant over.
That's right.
Would you like to pass the soapbox to Chad? It's
Sure,
his turn.
Chad, go.
About what?
Your turn. Rant. It's your rant time.
What am I
This
ranting
is
about?
just Tom today. and
Whatever you
go.
want to rant about.
Okay. What do I want to rant about? Fuck, I'm never really good at this type of ranting thing until there's really something to rant about.
Did they really?
Fuck, I don't know. Come back to me, Curacao.
My entire
I've actually
speech-
been in a pretty good mood lately, so I don't have much to complain about.
my entire speech is ranting. I never stop ranting. So
Well, then I'm going to take Chad's turn. I'm going to talk about Furiosa.
there you go.
Actually, I
I
do want
haven't
to hear
seen
your
it
opinion
yet, so
here.
don't.
Oh, then I won't talk about Furiosa. Okay.
Mm.
What?
Well, I don't want
Fine.
to spoil it for them. If they haven't seen it and they're going to see it, I don't want to spoil it.
Chad wants you.
I
wants
plan
you
to see it. It's just
I
that I haven't
do.
had time.
But I
Yeah,
want to know
no,
if it's
so I won't
worth my
spoil it.
time.
I won't
Because
spoil
now
it.
I just go based
He,
on whatever
he
he's
relies
talking
on
about.
Tom. Like Tom could
Yeah.
be like bought off. Be like, convince Chad to see it. I'll give you $50 if you can get
Chad,
Chad to go to the movie.
Chad, you have to go see this movie. This is Human Centipede 5.
Number 2, part 2. Part 2 is fantastic.
The Walrus.
Part 2 is fantastic. I have not seen The Walrus. I know what it is.
Oh, the Walrus is
Tusk.
great.
Tusk, right?
Tusk.
Is it?
Yeah,
Tusk,
Tusk
thank
with
you.
Jason.
I haven't seen it yet,
You
but
know
I
what I
want
was
to see it.
talking about. I haven't seen it. I
I've
don't know
seen
enough
it.
about it to not see it.
Because I've had the equal amount of people telling me it was the worst movie on the planet, and then the other half saying it was the best movie on the planet.
Oh, I have no
Am I-
doubt that that's the case. Yeah.
So am I
It's,
supposed to see this movie or what?
you
That's a you
Listen.
call it.
yeah, the thing is that the only part that's really worth it is the end.
Like
First off-
Llamageddon, the only thing is the beginning.
Yeah, like Justin Long, if you're familiar with all of his stuff, like he always
Yeah.
gets
I love
fucked over
Justin
anyway.
Long.
Yeah.
So you know what's gonna happen. So it's kind of worth it. Where you're like, oh, what's gonna happen to him now?
It's like Sean
Um,
Bean.
Yeah,
gets
but
killed in
Yeah,
every movie.
it's Tusk.
Yeah,
the way I
except-
understand Tusk, and I haven't seen it, but everybody that talks about it, it sounds exactly like a movie from the 70s starring Dirk Benedict called. That's the name of
Yes.
the movie,
Where he's turning into
Right.
the snake.
and he turns into a king cobra. Yeah.
Yes.
What?
And then at the end, that movie had a weird cut because it was like a mongoose got out and started fighting, and then that's when it ended.
Right.
If I remember
Right.
correctly, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
So
I
that's,
was that
it
movie-
sounds to me like Tusk is just a modern.
Sort of. I mean, yeah.
it's like
I
that
have
and,
tickets for
and
that.
the
Can I
Human
have tickets for
Centipede together because it's a guy doing it to someone else. So he's not turning himself into a walrus. He like kidnaps a guy and turns him into.
Right. That's what
Yes.
happens in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Then it's the same.
And then it's also what happens.
I'm just
in
gonna
Human
keep
Centipede.
doing that.
I'm just enjoying Tom hissing. That's like the highlight of my
Have you
night.
seen?
I could be concerned about it, but I'm not.
I have 99 followers. I need somebody to go.
Do you
make it
guys
100.
think that there's not enough movies about people turning people into other things?
I told you
feel like there needs to be more
Llamageddon,
of
he
this.
turns him into a llama. So
Yeah, but like
Post
then
a
other
picture,
getting
Chad, where some
tentacle
dude
raped by
actually
the other
spent a
one.
ton of money making himself a furry suit.
yeah, I talked about
Um,
that.
Uh-uh.
Oh, you have it, yeah.
I kind
I
of
saw
want
that
to
movie
see
when
it.
I was really
Of course I
little.
have.
No,
talking about? Of course I
listen, that guy who turned himself into a dog who bought that furry suit, man, more power to that man.
I want
Hey,
to see him turn
more
himself
power
into-
to him.
Is he married? He can't be married.
No, but he's a very successful surgeon, apparently.
Really?
Yes.
What you're
Like,
saying he
no.
has oodles of money
Yes.
and no family, nowhere to spend it.
He just
Probably. Yes.
wanted to be pet. That's all it was. It has nothing to do about being a dog. He
He
just,
just
wanted
wanted to be a good boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. I mean, come on, more
Someone
power to
call
you.
him a good boy so he can go back to work.
Well, now he wants to be a panda.
Oh,
Gotta be a
Jesus.
panda.
All right.
Look,
That's
more
my
po-
homework, man. Save
Look,
some more
well,
lives.
Look,
All
follow
pandas
your
do
dreams.
is just fall off of their house. Like, have you seen those panda movie shows? Like where the like, pandas at the China Zoo and they're
Yeah.
just
Yeah, they're just
falling off of
idiots.
shit all the time and
Yeah,
bouncing
all the
off of
time.
stuff.
Yep.
And they really like roll to go
Yeah.
places. They somersault, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what
they're
is this
legit
shit?
fuzzy
This
balls.
is real.
Yeah,
Kung Fu
they're
Panda for real,
adorable.
man.
Yeah, and they're adorable.
Tuck and roll.
Who doesn't
So
like a
Fall off the
panda?
tree. There-
He's a
maybe
panda.
that's why
There's
they're
actually a
brain
video
damaged.
of a brown bear with a stick, and he's literally like Kung Fu Pandaing with this stick,
Oh, I've
like
shared
around
this.
his head, and he's like,
Uh huh.
he's totally
if it's
Bruce
bear
Lee.
related, I've shared it.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
We all
Everybody
know
wants
that bears
to
are
be
like that's a
pet.
Matrix thing. That's a glitch in the
Uh,
Matrix.
That bear was in my comic book.
Aw. Nice. I didn't see anything. I saw The Crow in the theater. That's all I saw this week.
Was it worth it?
Yeah. No, the old one. It
No,
was
I
the-
know. I know. It's the 30th anniversary.
It was
whatever.
awesome. I saw it in the theater when I was in high school, so I was thrilled. I was like, "This is awesome." I didn't think my husband would want to go because he literally saw it for the first time like a month ago on TV. So I was like, "Do you mind seeing it again?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to see it." So actually, yeah, I actually loved it. I have no. I'm actually surprised that they didn't show the new Crow. I guess they figured that if we're there to see the old one, we will have no interest in seeing the new one because they
Well,
didn't show a
the
preview
new
for
one's
it.
pushed back. The new one's just pushed back to this fall. It's not even
They
out
should
yet.
just cancel it. Just cancel it.
Great, because now Venom has to compete with it. Great.
Fucking Venom. What a piece of shit that looks like. Holy God. Okay, here's my
They
next
should
rant.
stop making those.
No, here's
I'm ready to take Chad's spot.
Go ahead, Tom.
I actually had something.
No,
for
go.
that,
Go,
but-
Chad,
Oh,
go.
I think
I wanna hear the rant.
You folks can go. Dad, go ahead. Go
Listen.
rant.
I first off, and I know Tom's gonna hate me to say this, but I think that the second movie ended on a perfect note, and there doesn't need to be a trilogy. I think that
I don't
You know
listen. I think the first one was terrible, and there shouldn't have been any more at all.
Oh, see, I think
all.
the second. I think the first movie is a beautiful dumpster fire, and I think the second movie is like 6 different movies combined into one.
It is. You're right.
It's amazing.
But the first one, it is a dumpster fire, but I don't think it's a dumpster fire that holds up. Like I remember watching it, and I was like, "This is all right," and then it came out, and I got the Blu-ray, and I'm like, "Let me watch Venom again." I was like, "Oh, this is terrible.
Yes.
Oh, what
Yeah.
a shame. This is
But
actually terrible." And
it's
then
one
the
of-
second one came out, and I had hopes for it. But it, like you said, it was such a discombobulated piece of nonsense.
Yes.
Not even Woody Harrelson could save it.
Well, Woody Harrelson as Carnage was a terrible idea. Hands down. I'm sorry. He reminded me of like a Raggedy Ann doll, and that pissed me off so much.
It was
He
rough.
was like Chucky from Chucky.
From Chucky from Chucky.
Chucky from Chucky.
As opposed to Chucky from Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, as opposed to Chucky from Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
What's his middle name? Entertainment. Chuck E. Cheese.
I was so like the fact that they could not do a good Venom movie surprises me. Like Venom, I don't feel like he's that hard to do. Just make it a
Alright.
cheesy.
Listen,
movie.
it's Sony, man. Like they don't have a
Yeah.
clue what they're doing. Like
I-
no clue at all. And Madam Web just proves it. Like, I mean, holy God. And Morbius, like, what are you doing? And now Craven is coming with his freaking radioactive lion blood. Like, what is going on?
See, I
This is
have
horrible.
so little
I mean,
care.
is anybody actually
of-
going to see that?
Oh, I'm gonna see it.
Craven?
I saw
Oh, I'm
Madam
gonna
Web.
see
I can see
Craven.
that.
I'm gonna see Craven.
I have to be there for the
Why?
disaster that is Craven. I have to
Look.
know if it's worse than Madam Web or not.
Look, I sat through Morbius 3 times.
What?
And
Why?
each time I hated it because I wanted other people to suffer with me. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Drag
Yeah.
him into the mud.
Yes, I was like, listen, you guys gotta watch Morbius. Isn't it terrible? Just trust me. I fucking hate you. I have no friends after that, so it's fine. But no, Craven. God damn, I don't know what they're thinking. Nothing. I mean, clearly
think
they're
they
not.
were.
thinking
I don't think
anything.
they were
It's
thinking.
lost. It's
Like,
totally lost. It's
I was
totally
more
lost.
interested in the Luchador Spider-Man movie that they were gonna do.
The
If
what?
you remember him. Yeah, it was like this one character that was like Mexican Spider-Man, and he was only in 2 issues in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, that was never going to happen.
No, I know, but I was really excited but that's where I was just like, oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, okay.
The only thing we are ever going to see outside of the context of Peter Parker is Miles Morales. At some point, we will see a live action Miles Morales. I don't know when or how, but at some point that will happen.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we'll ever get Ben Reilly.
no.
No,
I mean, that sounds exactly what Sony would do, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and muck it all up. But you know, again, the problem is you can't do Ben Reilly without Peter.
right. Yeah, you can't. You have to do that
And-
clone saga.
Yeah, and they did introduce Peter in Madam Web. Spoiler alert: no one's watching that movie anyway. So spoiler alert: Peter
not.
Parker is introduced in Madam Web.
Oh wow, as a
yeah.
child.
As a baby, he's literally
Baby.
born in Madam Web.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So the theory is that we're going to see young Peter in the Venom movie. Like at some point, we'll see young Peter. Yeah. So the whole thing with Madam Web was like it was supposed to be like this heavy prequel to all of this other Sony shit, and then you know you'd have baby Peter being born, and then you could have him sort of grow up through these films and eventually become Sony's Spider-Man. So they wouldn't need Tom Holland, right?
Right.
So
They
that's
just
that's
get
kind
out
of
of the
the dumb theory that people have. Whether it's true or not, who knows? But that's what we kind of everybody who sees the movies, they're kind of like, yeah, I think this is what's happening. And so
Well,
again, we think we're going to see Peter in Venom, and then who knows what's going to happen in Craven.
I hope they just make it so Peter's a little boy, and then they just give him the Venom suit. Because that'd be that'd be
As
great.
a
Aaron,
child?
MCU
Yes, just
can't
as a
take
small child.
Miles because Sony owns Miles. Well, not owns it, but licenses it
You
and
just
owns it.
You just
they
do.
can't take him.
You just want
No,
this
they
feral
can't.
child to just rampage.
Look, they did it
through
with
New
Eddie
York?
Brock's son. You might as well do it with the Peter Parker as a feral child. Well, why not? You did it with Dylan Brock. Why not? Why not do it with Peter Parker? It'd be fun. Look, if anybody ever gets a chance to read the new Venom stuff, it's actually mediocre. So, I mean,
So Aaron, they literally name him in the movie. Like they literally say his name.
well, his name isn't copyrighted. It's Spider-Man himself. Like,
Well,
I
no,
don't-
it's
like they could just
it's
say,
but it's who owns it. See, number one, Aaron, the thing you have to remember is that Sony owns everything. They license it, they pay for it, they own it, they can do whatever the fuck they want. That's number one. Number two, the Miles part, MCU can only do Miles if Sony allows them to do. that's the reason why Peter Parker and Spider-Man was in the MCU, is because Sony and Marvel made an agreement to move him over there. So that's that, right?
Now they're like, oh
So,
shit, they can do better.
yeah, and so in Madam Web, he is named Peter, and so we know it's Peter Parker. It's right there, and then it's just a matter of what they decide they want to do with it. But I mean, there's been all these rumors about Sony wanting to, bring back Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and do stuff, and I'm like, I don't see that happening. I just can't. I just don't see it happening. As much as I would like to see a third Garfield movie, I don't think you
Not
can
the
do it.
Garfield cat.
Yes, the
No,
third
not
Garfield
that,
the
not
cat
that.
movie.
Oh, my first
Chris
thought, like,
Pratt.
what?
I think after No Way Home, I think Garfield's Spider-Man is done. I think he came
Yeah.
around full
Yeah.
circle. Not to say you can't tell another story, but I think you did what you needed to do with the Garfield Spider-Man. So I think at this point, Sony has to create their Spider-Man if they want to keep making these movies, which they kind of have to do, because once they lose their licensing rights, they can't do anything, and it all reverts back to Marvel. So
Right.
now they're in the catbird seat because they can make whatever movies they want, and they can license things back to Marvel and make money when their characters go back to Marvel, like when Peter Parker went.
That's
back.
what they did
So,
with the Fantastic Four, if I remember. Was that or was that Fox?
No, that's Fox.
It's Fox. Okay.
Yeah, that was Fox. So they just they absorbed Fox.
That
Yeah.
yeah, they did.
Yep.
Yeah. Why
What
don't they
was your
just
wor- No, go ahead.
Sony right now
Oh.
is the only company that owns anything of Marvel. Out that Marvel
Right.
doesn't have control of. That's it. And they have all of the Spider-Man stuff. So if they wanted to make Black Cat or like Silver Sable or
They were supposed to do
Sinister
that, weren't
Six or whatever, they can do anything that they want because they have all the licensing rights.
well, they said that they were going to do a Sinister
is why
Six
we get
movie,
Weird
and
radioactive tiger blood, lion blood.
yeah,
Raven.
and then you
He's
get
so
Vulture
dumb.
with Michael Keaton for some reason, and Morbius and
Yeah.
Venom again. Maybe I don't fucking know. Yeah, let's do a Sinister Six movie because you established all of them so well.
Yeah.
Why is Morbius here? Because Michael Keaton told him we hate Spider-Man. That's
Yeah.
why.
It's bad.
And
bad.
Vulture's here because he also hates Spider-Man, but also likes Spider-Man. No, he likes Tom Holland. He hates Tobey Maguire. Is what it is.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no point in the Sinister Six existing if there's no Spider-Man. Like, what are they doing? And all of the bad guys that Sony uses, they all become these like anti-heroes, right? Like a Punisher type
Yes.
of dude.
Yeah.
So they're not really villains, but they're like anti-hero guys. So if all of your villains are anti-heroes, what the hell are they doing? I don't even know what they're doing.
They're beating up Rocket Racer because
Oh.
that's the only other thing that they have.
All right. Sure.
Woo!
Why not?
Yeah. I mean,
I
does
I mean, I know
anybody-
what we're all waiting for is for Sony to make a Spider Buggy movie. That's
Yes.
the one.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
Spider Buggy the movie.
Yes.
I
They
want
need to make, and
Spider-Ham.
it's like a Herbie type movie, and it'll be great, or a Speed Buggy.
Oh my
type
god.
movie.
I want Spider Ham.
Peter
A
Parker,
Herbie movie. That would be hysterical.
They are making the noir one though with
Nick Cage,
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
which I'm very excited about. But I would love them to do a Peter Parker movie.
Peter Parker.
Parker.
That's his name, Peter Parker.
Oh my
Yay.
gosh.
I have never heard of this. I'm just gonna have to take your word for it.
Or Peter, what was it? Peter X or Peter Parker, but it's spelled like pterodactyl. So it's like
What?
PTY. Yeah,
Oh,
it's really
okay.
weird. Yeah, like PTY
Right.
and everything like that, or however you spell it. Or I want them to do the Western Spider-Man. I think that one would be cool because the horse has the little spider mask on him too.
Hmm.
I would totally
It's
watch
cute.
that.
Yeah, I would watch that. I think it's cute. Listen, Tom, we all know that they'll make that before they make the Oz movie.
Ooh, that's fighting words.
Tom's gonna be like, Chad, I'm gonna throw you out
Try
the
not to
window.
punch you in the face through the screen.
You live in the same state as me.
Mm.
I will find you.
Knuckle sandwich. My brain has officially left the building. Good night, everybody.
The nickel
Oh, no.
sandwich.
Nickel sandwich. That would hurt
Yay.
if you hit him with the roll of nickels. Nickels hurt, man.
Oh, spiders, man! Yes, that would be awesome. The Peter Parker was eaten by a bunch of spiders, and when he got infected by radioactive, he became radioactive. He fell into a vat of spiders. They ate him, and then they became the consciousness of Peter Parker. So yeah, it's awesome. And he's just a bunch of spiders. Spiders, man. Look, listen, Into the Spider-Verse comic was awesome. Like, that was a great one if anybody ever gets a chance. The omnibus is out, so I mean it's been out for a while, but if you ever get a chance, it's wild. They have the Spider-Man from Marvel vs. Capcom in it, and Moreland's going in through all of them, so they have like the comic strip Spider-Man too, and it keps going on like a loop. And there's just like
You are what is known in the wrestling world as a mark.
What does that mean?
They make commercials for you. And everything
It means basically that it doesn't matter what they produce, you're going to be all in on that.
Yeah, especially when you make a wild thing like that.
So loyal and coming back and wasting his money on my stuff even more. I love it.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm all for the weird stuff and just going all out with it. So, and I thought they did very well with the Spider-Verse stuff.
Nice.
See, weird stuff. I guess my point is like weird stuff's okay. I'm with you. I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But like the Spider-Verse stuff has reached just levels of stupidity and clear money grab.
Oh God, yes.
Yes. Point where it's just like I can't even look at it and take it seriously anymore in any capacity.
I'm talking about when it first started, like the first story was just awesome. And now, yes, I do agree with you because now they have like Into the Venomverse and they have like else stories of Into the Spider-Verse, and it's a headache. And I don't read any of that, but I'm talking about the first one. Also, I've dropped most of all of Marvel's and DC stuff. So, none of it has been actually good. So, Donny Cates took a break, and that made me sad, so I've kind of stopped. I like Donny Cates. I think he's a good writer. So, leave me alone.
What was your rant, Tom? Do you remember it? Or did you already have it? Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Sex and the City is actually pretty good.
I have a shark cover being done. Did you see my post, Tom?
I saw the roughs. Yeah,
that was an easy one. It was everyone chose except for like 2 people. Everyone chose the one that I wanted anyway. So, hi.
It's always a bonus.
Well,
it's like every time I do a poll on my Patreon, I'm like, hey, Patreon people, you get to choose like some characters for something. And like, here's like the list. And in my brain, I'm like, they're going to pick these 2. And it's completely the opposite. It's like 100% the opposite. So you never know.
The one that I did before with Todd's sketches, and his sketches are awesome. It was so like split down the middle, like, oh, it's D. And they were like, oh, it's B. And then I finally picked one, and he goes and does 3 different ones else. And I was like, I don't do good with decisions. So I had to post it, and then they were like, oh, we want the version of this one and this one. And a lot of them wanted the feet shown in the first one that won. And I told him that, and he didn't want to do the feet. He says, it changes the whole dynamics of it. And I was like, all right, well, so they have feet fetishes over here. They want feet. So I don't know. I think it's got feet now. So everyone's happy, but we'll see. I haven't seen the completely finished one yet, so we'll see.
Why are you promoting feet pics?
Whatever works.
I guess I'm right there with you.
But yeah, the shark one. I can't even use the shark one till 2026. But I accidentally paid him. I don't usually pay half in front. So far, everyone's mostly been all, and I always make them a deal that if I have to pay first, it has to be goods and services, which is fine by me. It doesn't affect me at all. But if I pay after, then I do it friends and family because it's already done and whatever. So usually I pay after. I don't do the split paying because I have to pay $5 per each time I send it. So it's like I'm not paying an extra 5, so it's one or the other. So I forgot I paid him half up front, and then I paid him the whole thing, and he was like, "You paid double," and I was like, "Oh, let's do another cover. Let's just go. Let's just do another cover." He did an amazing cover, and it was like $70, and I was like, I could do another one. So we're doing the shark one, and he puts a lot of detail in it, which is nice. I think I have like 5. I hate when I pay first because then I have to keep track of them. Like if I don't pay first, then the worst that happens is I don't get a cover, and it's like, all right, whatever. But once I pay first, I even warned them. I was like, just so you know, I will never bother you if I pay after. But if I pay first, I'm going to bother you at least once a week. If you're going to tell me you'll be done in like 5 days, I'm going to check in on you in 7 days and all that fun stuff. So I don't like paying first. It's not my cup of tea, but I don't like to have to worry about it because I have like 5 being done now. Like all my covers are done, but I wanted to put in some sexy covers now. So let's see how that goes.
Selling out. Chris is selling out.
Yeah, it's so funny because everyone that I've chosen normally does like the naughty and the nice, and they're like, "So you're gonna do a naughty one? It's the same price." It's like, "No, I can't have topless, so it's just gonna be a sexy nurse outfit." And they're like, "All right." I was like, "You can just do it and charge more." I was like, "Nope, can't do it. Can't do it." It'd be nice, but all right. Well, that's 1 hour. I can show everyone's. Well, Tom, do you actually have a pre-launch? Because you launch in 3 days. Probably don't have it yet. Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't. Don't.
It cracks me up that you don't have a pre-launch, but doesn't seem to.
It's overrated.
Do it all.
It's overrated.
Let's see. So I have to do. I'm at 99, so it annoys me. I need 100 now. But and then I need Lori's. I already forgot. Your Tom is 6, 12, 14, and 17. Those are our launch dates. Lori, you got 52. Woohoo.
I broke 50. Hooray.
And
Look, I have a picture. Will you put it up,
no,
please?
fine.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm
Victor
so glad.
Medina is so hot right now.
Yeah.
Don't start with your artist because it's just messed up. But yeah, I love Vic. I have like, I think I have 6 covers of his, and I can't even use the other ones till 2026. So, but I still want 2 more.
I shared mine, and then Chad was like, "Oh yeah,
Right. I was like, oh right, yeah, I need to share
I'm
Vic's
supposed
stuff.
to share mine too."
That's right.
Where Vic is like, "Hey, look at all my new covers."
Right. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, we got a Vic train going. I forgot.
Yeah,
about
yeah. I was
that.
like,
Because
"Me
I
too."
shouted him out. I shouted him out.
Mhm.
I'm the type of person to be like, you gotta buy. I don't give you a choice. I'll just buy a cover from him.
I've been working on my freaking campaign while we were live, and none of my GIFs that I've loaded actually, like when I go to the preview, they're not there. So I have to make new GIFs. Hooray.
I
Yeah.
have not started my page. Well, I started it. I mean, everything's there. I just paste and copy everything over, but I haven't done any of the rewards or anything.
Yeah.
So this is Lori's.
I got to make a GIF with all my t-shirts because I'm making all the previous t-shirts available on this campaign. So I'm just going to be making GIFs all night. Wee. You could put GIFs and videos in the rewards instead of just a picture. You didn't
Really?
realize that.
What is
Yeah,
Too much
you
effort.
can.
It's too much effort.
I really wish that they would have it so you could play the video as a pre-launch. You can't really do anything. Anyway,
Yeah, that's actually a great idea. That is a
yeah,
legitimate
Indiegogo
Yeah.
has it.
I don't have a video uploaded yet, but I think that it does play, doesn't it?
No.
Maybe not when it's in pre-launch, but like if you go,
Well,
remember we found this out last week. If you just search
Yeah.
like Path of the Pale Rider, it'll play all the other videos just when you scroll over the picture.
yeah, but I
I
wanted to
haven't
play
done my
during
video
the-
yet.
I wanted to play during the pre-launch. So for Lori's, I put the link in the
There's my
description,
linky
but
loo.
you could just search Pale Rider. And there is Lori's awesome one that is going to be June 14th. I probably
Yeah.
should have went in order of when they're coming out.
I'm
but
gonna
I'm not gonna.
do a live stream and a
That's
launch
smart.
party and all of that stuff. So I have 3 more covers to release. I'm excited.
You sound excited.
Well, I got like cool merch and I got a new t-shirt design and woo, set the hook.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Wow, that was enthusiastic. And then
That
here's
was a pivot and turn.
the link for Set the Hook, or you could just search Set the Hook, which is what I just did.
I put it in the
And-
private chat too, but whatever.
Well, mine goes to the YouTube thing, so I can't do it to
Oh,
Facebook.
okay.
It says all. It says right there all, but it looks like it only goes to YouTube. So I don't know.
StreamYard's having a issue with Facebook. It won't let you stream to Facebook.
I've noticed that, and
It lets
I'm
you
on
stream to
Facebook right now.
pages, but not groups.
yeah,
Right now,
it-
it's not even letting me link to my own personal profile.
But
Oh,
mine's
well,
showing
then they're in
my,
the process of fixing that then. Good. Because it's been
mine's
like that for a
showing,
while.
though. I just
Yeah.
saw it. Mine's on
Because-
our page. We're right now on my page. Let me double
Because
check.
it used to be Facebook
Yeah, oh, yeah.
profile and then group that I used to stream to, and it took the groups away, which is
Yep.
dumb.
Bastards.
So
Yeah,
now
they'll
when
fix- they'll
you
fix
know,
it.
when I'm playing the brew and I have the opening commercials, I'm sharing my stuff to all the different groups.
all 10 minutes of the commercial. Anyway,
All 10 minutes of the opening commercials, chat.
And here is
Yeah.
mine. Stuck at 99.
People
went
don't even
to-
show up for 10 minutes.
What happened?
Chat is complaining about the length of the commercials at the beginning of my show.
Oh,
yeah, but I always do that. It's more of like a, it's more of a tradition now.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I tease Chat about fish feet. So
Every day. Listen,
Right.
fish feet are sexy, okay?
well, I always do find
Just
it
wait.
funny that if you follow the astrology signs or whatever, Pisces, their body part is the feet. So I was like, all right, makes sense. So mine launches June 17th. So June 17th, we'll all be live. So it's
hooray!
already in. Yay. And
If I'm not dead by then.
it's issues 1 to 11. And I don't know. Oh, for the first time, I'm gonna have what the hell is it called? The prequel where they meet from one of the other artists. The spin-off. It's the first time you get them printed, and I think there is 15 left of the original artist one that I only had a 50 printing. So I only sold, I think I sold like 35. Yeah, 35 my very first Kickstarter. So score.
Woohoo.
So search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter if you don't already know, and now you know. And knowing is half the battle. So
G.I.
There you
Joe.
and Tom will have a pre-launch 12 minutes before it launches, and then
Yeah,
you can
probably
go-
Wednesday. Probably Wednesday.
So I mean, all of mine are pre-approved for till 15. 15 is the last one I have pre-approved. So I don't have them into pre-launch though, because I will never do that again. I did that last time and it got confusing. So I was like, just forget it. But it's approved. And also yeah, they're all done. So I'm excited. I'm excited for 16. It has such a cool ending, and I can't wait to. And I gotta wait till fucking November. No, next year. Next year for 16, fuckers. So yeah, 13 will be in September with the hardcover, and 14 will be in November. And 14 is the start of my favorite series. And it's really weird to see it streaming because there's like a delay. So it's creepy. See yourselves. Anyway, Lori, do you want to do the spiel of where to find you or whatever?
Hello, I'm Lori Calcaterra. Thank you for watching this show.
She has a
You can
900
find
number.
me
What did you say? It's
Every
in the phone.
day on there. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm on the Tuesday morning brew tomorrow. You can come hang out with me, and David Howard, aka Nem, is going to be on the show. We're going to hang out and talk comics and horror. And then you can find me on Facebook groups, Path of the Pale Rider, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, Instagram, whatever. Lori Calcaterra, I'm there.
Threads. Jeez Louise.
I know, isn't it crazy? There's
No
so
one
much
uses-
crap you can
No
be
one
on.
uses that. We
Must
might
post
as well all be on
everything.
Kara too, right? Are we all going to Kara?
I'm not on
now?
Kara because I'm not an artist.
Nonsense.
I don't have anything to share. What am I
Ain't
going to be
nobody
like?
on those
Look at-
sites.
Can I just draw like I could just post sticky notes with smiley faces and be like, I'm not a fucking artist, but I will buy all your shit.
Oh, speaking of that, I have that
You're
3:00 in the
divine.
morning. I had my banner came out of me being a guest, and it said artist. My name was spelled wrong, and it said redemption instead of worthy chaos. So I sent them messaging. I felt like I was such a complainer. I was like, I am so sorry. I just, and they had it fixed by 7 a.m. So it's pretty cool.
I mean, they spelt your name wrong. That's a problem.
Well, the banner was right. It was wrong in the but I want to show my little thing. Let me see. Where is it?
Whoop, whoop,
See, look.
whoop, whoop.
That's my little banner.
I was so excited for you.
I know it's my first guest, especially since Nashville's one of my favorites. I have not done CreepyCon yet, but they're like the nicest. Like everything they do is for you, and I mean free food. I've never heard of free food, but whatever. It's free food, free Wi-Fi, free table, which is awesome. But I asked Nashville, what does it take to be a guest? I mean, they only have like 10, like it's a very small con, and they're just like, oh, you'd have to have published multiple stories. You couldn't have just your story. You have to publish with another story. And I was like, well, I don't know what happened, so I guess I'll never be a guest. So yeah, good times. Chad, do you want? Thank you. See, congratulations. Chad, do you want to do your spiel? Tom's not allowed. He's banned because he doesn't like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, which is just Chad Perkins. You can look me up. You can add me as a friend. You can follow my stuff, which I'm mostly just promoting Set the Hook, which comes out, is launching June 12th. I might do it earlier. It just depends. I also just got the reason why is I was just asked, hey, you want to do a draw stream on Saturday with the artist, like to promote it? And I'm like, well, maybe I could just launch on Saturday and then get it
Nobody
out.
cares. Go ahead.
Right. Like, I'm just like, maybe I should just do that then.
Is it done? The page is done?
Oh, all of it. The whole book. Yeah, the book's done.
No, the page, the actual page.
Oh, yes. Yeah. The page is done. I just have to re-upload because I got a new logo for the front of the book. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
And you can also find me over at Catalyst Comics as well because I took over their social media pages. So I'll be doing all that over there. And you can find me on Twitter at Casual and Nerd Chad, which I don't really use it. But I take pictures of my feet, so you can take a look at that. So there you go.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Just search Worthy Chaos anywhere. I'm there. That's it. Tom is Big Dog Inc. You can find him anywhere. And
Except for Threads. Not on Threads.
I'm not on Threads either. I'm on Instagram so that because every artist I know is only on Instagram, so I made one, but I don't think I even posted anything after issue 1. So I don't think I'm on issue 16. I haven't posted anything since then. So I'm on there. I'm also on TikTok that I've not posted in like forever. I'm on Twitter X and I post on there, but no one ever sees it except for the same 3 people. So I have 5,000 followers on there. Nobody sees anything. So and then we'll be back next Monday. Don't forget to look for Big Shark so that we could stop doing the show once it's found, and then that's it. So,
is it true, Tom? Is it true that your kid's book imprint is called Corndog Inc.? Is this a true fact? It doesn't matter if you say no because it's going to be. So stay tuned for that.
Say that again. What?
Oh, when you were talking about corn dogs.
Corn Dog Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your new
summertime version of Big Dog Inc. Corn Dog Inc.
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's funny.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.